Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to your favorite lunchtime podcast, the Lunch and Learn podcast, powered by Join Momentum. And today I'm very excited because I have two of my colleagues here with me to discuss a very interesting topic. But first of all, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Clara Rufai, and I am a Scrum Master and Delivery Lead at Join Momentum. I'm just going to let the ladies introduce themselves, and we'll kick off into our topic for today. Fumi, over to you.
Thank you, Clara. It's so great to be here. I'm a Scrum Master and Delivery Lead and Joy Momentum. It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clara. I'm really happy to be here. I'm a product owner in Join Momentum.
Amazing. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. I know we're going to have fun on this discussion. So, guys, today's topic will interest you. It's women in tech, overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities. So we recognize that when we're talking about this topic, there are challenges and then there are opportunities to be seized. So just to set your mind at rest, there's the good and and the not so good and the good as well. So to kick us off into our topic, we're going to just share a little bit about our personal journey. So Fumi, over to you. Let's start with your journey. What is your foundation? Can you share some key milestones in your career so far in tech?
Thank you, Clara. Yeah, absolutely. So I started out my career as an engineer, though I'm a graduate of computer science. So I've been in tech all my life. And it's been wonderful, so to say, very interesting journey. One thing is the IT world is not static; it's very, very dynamic. So my first significant milestone was when I finished, school, and I was in the engineering team of this wonderful organization as a satellite capacity planning engineer. So I started out my career in the telecoms industry. So I saw, telecommunications evolve, especially in Nigeria, from the days of Viasat, days of SCPC, the days of, installing satellites, to, support the MNOs. And then from there, broadband came in, and then from broadband to fiber right now. So I saw, the telecoms industry evolve and all that. So I can say that I've had my fair share of, being a stable woman in tech, right from when I finished school and even up till now. And, right now, a lot of things have evolved. We now have AI, we have, so many things that a lot of we women are into right now. When I started, they were just few. They were not so much. Like, as a satellite capacity engineer, there were not so many women in that field, unlike, probably right now. So one thing I can say that stood out for me was the fact that I didn't give up. I just continued somehow. I just knew that somehow I was going to get to the peak of this career in whichever way, because ask me about anything else, it will still be revolving around this tech thing. So it was just something that I knew that I was in for, and I wanted to grow in it. So not to take too much time, that's just how my journey started.
Thank you so much, Fumi. It's interesting to see how passionate you are about all things tech. So let's go over to Maryam now. Maryam, tell us what drew you to tech?
Yeah, actually, I studied economics for my bachelor's, and while studying, I started working in a financial services company in the marketing sector as a content marketer. And then while in there, I initiated a financial podcast. And then after 3 years, I decided to go to like management consulting area. So I started working as a business analyst there. And our first project was with IT.
Okay, Marian seems to be lagging a bit there. We'll see if she can come back because she stopped mid-sentence. Okay, so we're going to dive right in and carry on. So for me, my interest in tech has been, shall I say, I've always been interested in tech. Even though, back in school, back in university, in my university days, I was not a science student. How we used to back home where I went to school back home in Africa, we used to have those sort of like divisions where you're traveling along a certain track, like you're an art student or you're a science student, and tech was viewed as predominantly science, and I was not a science student. And when I thought about tech in those days, I thought about it as being related to all the things that I didn't like, spreadsheets and mathematics and science and all those things, whereas I am more given to creativity, language, expressing myself in poetry, in writing and things like that. So originally I just had this fear of tech. Even though I was drawn to it, I was intrigued by it, but I just did not think that that was something that I could do. And
Mm.
fast forward several years to now, I'm working in tech. I'm a woman in tech. I'm enjoying a career in tech. So it's been an amazing journey so
Yeah.
far. And my experiences so far in a place like Join Momentum have been really invaluable to helping me, better embrace my love for tech, which before now I didn't see it as a love for tech. I just thought, oh my God, this subject, which I could not approach because of my inclination towards arts, subject. So that's interesting. I mean, the
Yeah.
one thing that's clear is all three of us are passionate about tech. So I think that we are the best people to be discussing a topic like this. So guys, again, our topic is women in tech, overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities. So I think at this point we should go straight into some of the challenges that we know. Before now we were speaking, myself, Maryam, and Fumi, and we were talking and sharing our experiences about the kind of challenges that we've experienced and we know other people may have experienced. So one of them that I'm going to quickly talk about is gender bias and stereotypes. Now, gender bias, whether we like it or not, is a significant issue in tech. And I'm just curious, for me, how has this affected you? How have you, if it has, I'm assuming, but I shouldn't assume, has it affected you? And if it has affected you, how have you been able to navigate around it?
Thank you, Clara. You can see me grinning from here to here because really, so when I started my career, so I'll keep, referring back to me because I'm like, you're a good example here. So when I started, and the IT world is a male dominated, you know, um, industry. Back in the days, unlike now, where you have a lot of women in tech. So at that point, let me give you this example. So then in networking, it was okay
Mhm.
for you to do some certifications, like Cisco certifications and all that. So I remember that my first certification was CCNA, Cisco Certified Networking Associate. I did it and I was very confident in myself. And it took me like a step forward, a step higher in my career. And then knowing fully well that the second stage was about certifications. At some point, I got very discouraged. I was like, oh, so meaning I have to do CCMP, and CCMP is 4 stages. And then after CCMP, there's another stage, things like that. At some point, I was like, no, I don't think that I want to continue this way. And I didn't really have a lot of mentors at that point. But somehow I just carried on. When I did that CCNA, I just okay, let me just stay here. Let me use this to actually, learn the rudiments, learn the foundations, and really, really understand what it is, as an IT person. And so that sets the stage for my career
Mhm.
at that point. You understand? So, but one thing happened, by the time I was like about maybe 4 or 5 years into my career, I met this very lovely lady who was my boss at that point, and then she helped me, shape up my career such to okay, why don't you venture into management since you understand the foundation? So it was better for you to just, venture into management because at that point, the peak of that Cisco certification was CCIE, and there were not a lot of women, at that level yet. And I was looking at it that how am I going to get to this level, somehow? And then it looked like it was just all in for men. So at that point, I had to branch off. You understand? So I had to branch off. So it kind of looked like, it was just all men in that area. You
Mm.
understand? So I had to
Mhm.
somehow I couldn't go forward. I couldn't do that second stage because I looked at it that
Mm.
where am I going to end? Where am I going to? Really, what do I want to gain from this part of the industry, which I was? So
Yeah.
somehow, for a long time I struggled. And then even
Mm.
at there were not a lot of women who were actually doing what I was doing. So what I did was
Mm.
time when I sought the I had to branch off into management. And that's why I found myself in project management up till now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's interesting that you should say that, because I know that when we spoke earlier, it seemed like, it seems like we've all faced similar challenges at one point in time or the other. And that's because Maryam was sharing earlier, and she'll join us, again in a bit, but she was sharing that it seems like there is a stereotype, right? There is a script that's been written that says that, oh, women are not as technically proficient. And just that script, just that stereotype can be limiting. And maybe I bought into that stereotype, as I shared, in the early part of my career, because I felt like I could not do tech, I could not do anything digital.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you should say that. And also the stereotype that surrounds us, whether we like it or not, that women are not technically proficient. However, overcoming that stereotype is possible, and it's something that all women should aspire
Yeah.
towards. And I believe that we need just that spirit of resilience, and we also need to imbibe a habit of continuous learning, whether we like it or not, and establish by so doing, we will be able to establish credibility. We will be able to apply just the principle of plain old principle of hard work, that, and networking with the right people, like you mentioned, the person that mentored you early on in your career and everything.
Yeah.
And all of those things together will come together in the fullness of time to help us to gain more respect as women in tech and in the digital space, gain more
Sure.
recognition, gain more respect. And I absolutely, totally believe that. I hope that Maryam can join us very soon. But whilst we wait for her, let's delve into the next topic, or the next aspect that we want to discuss. And that one is the work-life balance. Now, balancing work and personal life, as a woman in tech, can also be challenging, but yet it's
Yeah.
crucial. And we struggle with these things, not just in tech, but just generally, because as women, we
Generally.
have to take on more than our male counterparts. And I'm just wondering, for me, uh, just very briefly, how have you been able to manage and balance this? This struggle of balancing work-life balance. How have you been able to navigate it, just so that others can learn from your experience?
First thing I want to say is if you're a woman in tech, choose your path and follow your path very, very wisely. Um, it has definitely been challenging. I wouldn't say it's not been, but I have to set boundaries. I have to prioritize self-care. At some point I would just hold on. I would
Hmm.
I'll just hold on. I'm like, okay, so what's the next level? What do I want to
Hmm.
do next? So I had to prioritize. First, I had to prioritize myself, prioritize my happiness, prioritize, what actually makes me grow, what brings me out as a person, what brings out my creativity, um, what brings out growth in me. Because there are times where you're working, as a woman in tech, and then you're not really growing. You understand? And then because of these stereotype things that says that women are not technically sound and all that, you have to actually prove yourself. You're seated at the table with tech guys, be able to lend your voice and say, yes, I understand what you're saying. You're making statements, you're putting all the right terminologies, you're putting the right, tech terms, such that at that table, you're not just there and moping at them and looking at them like you don't know, you don't understand what they're saying. You get.
Hmm.
So I had to, prioritize self-care. And then
Hmm.
there's a lot of flexibility right now.
Hmm.
There's no flexibility right now. Thank God for, after COVID, we start having remote work. So,
Yeah.
you can do remote work and then, be able to plan your time, plan family time, plan time
Hmm.
for yourself, set time for growth, look into your calendar throughout the year, whatever
Hmm.
part have chosen in tech, check out what are the certifications or what are the trainings that you need to go through, and then just send them all through the year, maybe quarterly. Do one training at a time, get your wins, celebrate your wins, sit back,
Yeah,
and then, check out what is happening again and say, okay, so this will be the next one for me. Build your technical skills as well as your soft skills. So the two have to go hand in hand. Yeah. So that was how
I
I,
agree.
tried to balance myself. I made sure that, I prioritized myself and prioritized work too as well.
I agree, and well done to you. Well done to you, Fumi, absolutely, because it's always got to be about finding what works for you as an individual, because you're first of all a human being and an individual. And if you're not
Exactly.
happy with yourself and the path you're following or what you're doing, you just definitely are going to struggle at work, whether that's in tech or digital or anywhere else. So, yes, finding what works for you, being unapologetic about setting those limits, because there will have to be limits. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there will be burnout and all of those sorts of things. So, I also feel like it definitely is a plus if you have a supportive network, right?
Sure.
Personally and professionally, people who believe in you, people who say to you, Fumi, go, you're amazing, and all of that, people
Sure.
who will cheer for you. That
Yeah.
for me is always going to make a significant difference in helping us to manage our expectations, our responsibilities, and all of that. So let's move on to the next one very quickly. And again, we hope that Maryam will be able to rejoin us pretty soon. So let's talk about networking and mentorship. You already said a bit about this, so maybe you've already said what you have to say regarding that. But and yeah, you've mentioned that somebody did influence your career pretty
Yeah.
early on, and for me, mentoring as a topic, as it is a thing, it's invaluable because you cannot do without it, and it's not just in the field of tech alone. So I'm just going
Yes.
to let you share very briefly. Mariam, welcome back. Mariam
Thank
has some things she would like to share, I know, on networking and mentorship. So I'm going to let you just share very briefly about the person or people who may have influenced you early on in your career.
Yeah, sorry, I had a network issue. I got disconnected. Actually, I can say that when I wanted to enter the tech world, I always thought that I might lack technical skills, and I was very afraid of it. But then what helped me to proceed with it was attending the meetups about tech, like product managers. And when you talk
Mhm.
with them, you realize that it's actually some other things that matter more in product management. Something you'll learn some things that you won't learn in university for sure when you talk to professionals in that field. And that's really important. Nor in courses, not in university. You just need to get connected to those people. And then it's good if you also get connected with them on their LinkedIn or website or social media or whatever. And
Mhm.
then later on, when you wanted to look for a job, or if they wanted to recruit someone, you can like you always have them on your connections, and that's really helpful. And they might actually introduce some other companies or some useful courses to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And that is true. That is true. And that's why I really believe that educational and professional development in tech is so, so vital, because
absolutely.
it's not something you cannot be a pretender to the throne. You have to, you either know it or you do not know it. Because if you
Yeah.
don't know it, it will show that you don't know it. And perhaps
Agree.
as women, that is some of the things that pulls us back, because we tend to harshly judge ourselves. Sometimes when a man doesn't 100% know something, he's going to be bold and confident, almost arrogant about the little that he knows. He's going to step up and speak and be heard. Whereas we would say, because I don't know 100%, I am not even qualified to sit at the table or to speak. So
Yeah.
that's really, really important. For me, I'm going to let you maybe mention a few, I don't know, platforms or a few learning tools or resources that you may know about out there.
Thank you, Clara. So, just to add to, before going to your point, just to add to what Miriam said, networking has opened like numerous doors for me. And I made sure that everywhere I worked, I built very good relationships. So because as a lady in tech, I met other women who I made sure that I built very good relationship with. And then one thing is, as you navigate your way through your career, you meet different people at different levels of your career. So the best thing is you're pushing yourself out, you're meeting the right people, you're connecting with them such that it opens doors of opportunities for you, even as a woman. So mentorship in particular, provided guidance and support for me all through. So it helped me navigate challenges and also seize opportunities as well. Then one thing is there are so many associations you can belong to. Women in tech, there are a lot of women in tech associations right now where you have a lot of women who are like you, women who you even want to look up to, women who you want to be like, people of like minds where you can, actually see what they're doing, hear from them, see how they've navigated their way through their career, and then also learn from them. One thing about me, if you meet me today, if you've never met me before, you will know that I'm a lady in tech, because the first thing I'll tell you is about what I do, and then why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then what is happening, right now in the tech world. So you would read from me the first 5 minutes of meeting me that I'm actually in tech, and we're discussing it. I'm giving you all the right terms, and then I want to know what you know so that I can learn from you. You understand?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. And
And
then Maryam, you have a few things to add, I know.
yeah, I wanted to add this as well. You will, after you attended a couple of meetups, you will learn how to present yourself in a
Yes.
couple of minutes, and that's really
It is so
important in job
important. Yeah,
interviews
yeah.
or when you're pitching a project or whatever. And yeah, as they say, a network is your net worth, and that's
Yes.
really
That's so true.
important.
That's so
Really.
true. So thanks, ladies. I mean, that was interesting about building a support network, about taking advantage of resources and platforms.
Yeah.
There's so many of them where you can get even free courses. So many of them. So there really isn't any excuse for not getting the knowledge that we need as women, right? Because lots of information is out there. Some of it is free, but even if it's not free, I believe in absolutely investing in yourself enough to pay
Necessary.
for a
Mm.
course that will advance you in your chosen career or chosen path. Let's talk about inclusive workplaces. Inclusive workplaces. I feel like that's another thing that can deter us as women in tech, because there are certain characteristics that make a workplace inclusive. And I don't know how many companies out there are really living true to that calling to make sure that their workplaces are inclusive and accepting of women, because we're not the ones, we're not men, so we're not the ones who tend to be all loud and bold and putting ourselves out there and everything. Even when a woman knows what she knows and is better than her male counterpart, she's looking up to, I don't know, the company, the organization, the system to validate her. So it's worth thinking about how many companies out there have that culture. So I mean, Maryam, what do you have to say about the whole idea of inclusive workplaces?
I mean, I can say that it's getting better. I mean, workplaces are getting more inclusive and equal in terms
Mhm.
of like diversity, gender, and everything. So, yeah, and because everyone's getting educated about this. So, yeah, as we're going forward, it's getting better.
It's true. And it's true. You're absolutely right, Maria. Not everything is doom and gloom. I love the fact that you said it's getting better. The improvement is there to be seen. So, one quick word from you for me before we take a break
Well,
regarding inclusive workplaces.
okay, so an inclusive workplace values and hears every voice. And if you're a lady in tech and you're trying to probably look for a job or trying to change your career, make sure you check how inclusive the organization is. It's very, very important, because you might get into that organization and lose your voice if they are not inclusive, if they don't celebrate, inclusion in that organization. So, and I also want to say that every organization, must actively foster an environment where diversity is celebrated and inclusion is a priority.
Absolutely, absolutely true that. So guys, we've been talking about women in tech overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities. We're going to go on a short break now, and when we come back, we are going to be talking to you about how women in tech can seize opportunities and emerging technologies to advance their career in tech. Don't go away.
Welcome to Join Momentum, where we're not just a company, but a community of digital innovators. At Join Momentum, our mission is simple yet powerful: to accelerate digital talents and business productivity through practical work experiences, trainee internships, and talent placement. We believe in the transformative power of hands-on experience and mentorship, so all our associates learn by doing, not just theories. Through these efforts, we build innovative products and solutions that address user needs and create value for our candidates, clients, and stakeholders. You can partner with us in our mission to accelerate digital talents and increase business productivity by working with us, hiring our talents, or investing in us. This is Join Momentum.
Are you an expert in your field, or do you provide professional services and consultation? Do you have knowledge that someone would be willing to pay for? Do you know how to monetize that knowledge and turn it into a sustainable online business? You're not alone. Many professionals find it challenging to create a profitable online business around their expertise. But now, there's a solution. Subscribe to the Customer Skills Consultation app waitlist and download the Knowledge Monetization Toolkit, packed with practical strategies and real-world examples that will help you monetize your skills, knowledge, and create a sustainable online income. Whether you're a coach, consultant, author, speaker, teacher, or any other type of expert, this ebook will give you the tools and guidance you need to succeed. Don't wait any longer to monetize your knowledge. Join our waitlist now and take the first step towards creating a sustainable online income. Visit www.cashmyskills.com.
Unlock your potential with Growth Academy. Whether you're looking to advance in product management, data science, or marketing, our top-rated courses are designed to help you succeed. Learn from industry experts through interactive lessons, real-world simulations, and practical projects. Join a global community of learners and earn recognized certifications that can boost your career. Enroll now and start your journey with Growth Academy.
So, hi guys, welcome back. Welcome
So
if you're just joining us. Again, we are discussing women in tech, overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities. And, before we went on the break, we were talking about those challenges that may be unique to women in tech. Okay, so really, I mean, I think we should speak a little bit about the impact that women have in tech, women in tech, the impact of women in tech, and I want to throw this over to you first, Maryam, because I know that women are passionate generally about everything that they do, and they are, obviously wanting to excel in everything that they do. What would you say about the impact of women in tech?
for sure, women have some capabilities of their own. Like probably we do certain things better than other people, like the other way around. But what I would say is that we don't even have to look at it this way. And we, as a human, we all of them have capabilities and have some skills that can have our own impacts on tech or whatever we decide to work on. We just need to be confident about it and about our abilities and capabilities. So that's what I suggest. And
And,
like
and
continue
avoid the
upskilling.
imposter syndrome as well.
Yeah, I mean, imposter syndrome. What I would suggest is that like discussing this matter with uh, peers, with people
Yeah.
around you would help a
Mhm.
lot because everyone at some point and to some extent face this problem, this feeling of imposter syndrome, but then they're not sure about their abilities. But discussing this with them will help you to regain that power and also reminding yourself of your past achievements and things you overcame in life will help a lot. Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. For me, thoughts?
Yeah, women can have positive impacts on their industry, any industry, where they be that tech or
That's
any
true.
industry. Yeah. And so, women have very good problem solving skills.
Mhm.
Women have very good ways of thinking. Women bring their soft skills, and they tend to have very good leadership skills as well. And with women in your organization, it means that you have a very balanced, workplace culture. So I would say that having women, in the tech industry has brought about, tremendous positive impact. Yeah, which I feel that as time goes on, it will also get better.
That is so true. When you talk about creativity, innovation,
Yeah.
passion, women are, for instance, in a boardroom or in a meeting, for instance, women are able to read the non-verbal body language and things like that.
Absolutely.
So there is
Yeah.
just as I think we're all saying the same thing, that women have certain capabilities that should be viewed as strengths rather than
Yes.
weaknesses. It just depends on how we leverage them and how we use them. That is so true. Yeah. So, in terms of advice, if you were to offer advice to women who are aspiring to go into tech or women who are already in tech, what would that advice be? What would you say? What advice would you give to women aspiring to enter into tech?
If I mean, I want to start. I would say networking would be the most influential part,
Mm-hmm.
and finding the right courses and upskilling and keeping yourself updated with the trends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that very much because tech is literally one of the fields or one of the areas where you cannot pretend you know. If you don't
Yes.
know, you don't
Yeah.
know, and it's fast evolving and fast moving. Where there are different programs and platforms and things popping up every day. There's always a better way to do things. So you have to be somebody who is comfortable with change. right? A lot of
Exactly.
times in human nature, we want to just hold on to the tried and tested, but we have to be able to come out of our, our comfort zone and be comfortable with the idea of change. I also think, to add very quickly for me before you come in, to add to what Marian said, that believing in oneself is so critical. Believing
Very
in
important.
oneself, letting those stereotypes hold us back. The stereotype we talked about earlier, where women are deemed to be, in terms of technologically not,
Not so technical.
not so technical in the way that they think, in the way our brains are wired. Not that there's anything wrong with us, but that is the stereotype. And so we need to not let that stereotype hold us back. We need to just be resolute about following our own path to success.
Yeah.
Also, picking out supportive communities, in addition to the resources and the courses that Mariam talked about. Supportive communities, whether it be communities of women or communities of people in tech generally,
Yeah.
communities, resources. Also remembering that not to, judge ourselves too harshly when we fail or fall.
Yes.
Every failure is actually a learning opportunity, and it is only when we persist that we can, be on that path that leads us to success in our career. So, yeah, for me, I'm sure you want to add to that.
Yeah, I would say that if you're a woman in tech, strive to build a very strong personal brand. A strong personal brand can help you stand out, in a competitive field and open new career opportunities for you. Like Miriam said, you need to, work on yourself, make sure that you learn, work on your professional development. And
Yeah.
I would add that you need to create a very strong online presence, bring yourself out, let people know what you do, be on platforms that support your growth, and update your profile, highlight what you can do, share your
Mhm.
knowledge, whatever
Mhm.
you be able to share it. And likewise, you said we should engage in with communities that support you. Another thing that I also want to add is pursue leadership roles. The fact that a woman doesn't mean that you should be behind, especially in the tech world. Leadership roles provide opportunities to influence decisions and then drive change, and then helps you advocate for diversity as well as inclusion. Seek training, take initiative, support others as well.
Well said. That is
Yeah, and
so very well said.
yeah. And
Go on, Mary.
I yeah, I wanted to add that in terms of branding yourself, which Fumi mentioned, being able to present yourself very well is something that's really important, which you will learn in those meetups and connections
Mhm.
which you build in workforce
Mhm.
Sure.
or wherever,
Mhm.
university.
Mhm. So don't shy away from them. Don't be in the background. Be up front and center stage. Be your own
Yeah,
cheerleader. Basically, no one is going to project you if you don't project yourself. So as a woman, we need to do that. The traditional characteristic that women have of just shying away and just being in the background, and all of that, especially in male-dominated fields. That's not going to serve you well if you're a woman in tech or a
Yeah.
woman in any endeavor,
yeah,
basically any
exactly.
sector where men are, in the forefront. You have to also be vocal. You have to make your voice heard, and
Yes.
you have to obviously learn your craft, hone your craft, so that you're able to speak confidently and command the respect of everyone in the room, regardless of whatever. So let's look at the future
Yeah.
outlook as we begin to close now. The future outlook generally, if we were to make predictions, right, for the future of women in tech, what would those predictions be? It could be around the areas of diversity and inclusion, and how those two things um, are shaping the industry. But if we were to make predictions, what would that look like? Mariam, I'll come to you first. What do you think?
Um, I would say I think that the workforce would be more inclusive, and women will be getting more confident, and they will speak up for themselves, and they'll, um, as they already have brilliant ideas, they will present those, and we are gonna have more startups with women as their founders or co-founders.
Oh, wow. That's a
Absolutely.
very bright future you've painted. I
Yes.
love it. I love it. But the future does look promising because
Yeah, it
with
does
all
look
of that,
fun.
the passion and the creativity that women bring, with more initiatives, to support women in tech, I'm sure that we can very well expect to see a more balanced and more innovative industry, where as time goes on, create the creative energy that women bring to the table is just basically, bringing about innovation, bringing about ideas, bringing about just creative thoughts and ideas that can help everybody in the long run. And so long term, I kind of envisage or envision a technical landscape that where diversity is not seen as an exception, but it is actually the norm. People are
Yeah.
comfortable with it. Inclusion is second nature. It's the way we think, is the way we do things, and all of that. And I know for me, you want to add something. Please take it
Yeah,
away.
thanks, Clara. Well, I see an industry where more women will take on leadership roles. Of recent, I've been doing a lot of research, and I've seen that so many organizations, you will just go to the website and you see that they will write there that they have a quite a number of women in their
Yeah.
leadership, in their leadership squad, such that you know that it's not all men, especially the tech companies and stuff.
Mhm.
And I see this will drive significant change in the tech industry. I mean, the growing momentum for diversity and inclusion will continue to create more opportunities, and then this will also foster innovation in the industry at large. So the future is bright. With women in it, the future is bright. Train a woman, train a nation. Yeah.
Well said. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. So as we round up now, quick final word from you, Maryam.
Um, I want to say that people are going to judge us anyway. So if we're going to judge ourselves harshly too, then there wouldn't be anything for us. So we should be confident and
Mhm,
yeah, speak up for
mhm,
ourselves
mhm, mhm.
and
Very insightful.
judge our
Yeah.
and be kind to ourselves actually.
Be kind to ourselves, yes, and
Mm.
celebrate your little wins.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
For me,
I just want to say that women in tech should stay involved. Stay
no.
involved, stay
Mhm,
involved. And then the key is stay resilient, be proactive, and then we need to be supportive of one another in this dynamic and evolving field, through collective efforts, personal perseverance. And
mhm,
I think women will, they will pave the way for a bright future in technology.
mhm. So stay involved, stay engaged, stay resilient.
Yes.
Support each other. You
Yeah.
know that's all.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go. I,
Oh, it's a
I've absolutely had fun having this conversation with you, ladies. Thank you
good.
for me, Mariam, for sharing your insights
Thank
and
you.
sharing your experiences. I think this conversation has been enlightening. Whilst it is not exhaustive, and it was not
Sure.
intended to be, it's just to provoke people's minds to think about this subject. And so to all our listeners, we hope that you found this conversation as inspiring and as informative as we did.
Sure.
Remember that the tech industry needs diverse voices. Diversity is always to be celebrated, and there's a place for everyone. As Miriam said, it might not necessarily be because you're a woman, but because of who you are and what you bring, the value, the unique value that you bring to the table. Please do not count yourself out. Keep pushing forward. As Fumi said, stay resilient, stay engaged, stay involved, keep pushing forward, stay curious, seize opportunities to move ahead and to stay ahead. And of course, keep tuning into the Launch and Learn podcast. It comes your way on several different platforms, social media platforms, every Thursday afternoon at lunchtime. We hope that you find time to join us for future episodes, and do please follow us on all our social media handles. So until next week, when we come your way again, it's ciao for me.
Bye.
I let the ladies say their goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Next episode on Join Momentum Launch and Learn podcast.
Welcome to Join Momentum, where we're not just a company, but a community of digital innovators. At Join Momentum, our mission is simple yet powerful: to accelerate digital talents and business productivity through practical work experiences, trainee internships, and talent placement. We believe in the transformative power of hands-on experience and mentorship, so all our associates learn by doing, not just theories. Through these efforts, we build innovative products and solutions that address user needs and create value for our candidates, clients, and stakeholders. You can partner with us in our mission to accelerate digital talents and increase business productivity by working with us, hiring our talents, or investing in us. This is Join Momentum.
Unlock your potential with Growth Academy. Whether you're looking to advance in product management, data science, or marketing, our top-rated courses are designed to help you succeed. Learn from industry experts through interactive lessons, real-world simulations, and practical projects. Join a global community of learners and earn recognized certifications that can boost your career. Enroll now and start your journey with Growth Academy.
In your field, or do you provide professional services and consultation? Do you have knowledge that someone would be willing to pay for? Do you know how to monetize that knowledge and turn it into a sustainable online business? You're not alone. Many professionals find it challenging to create a profitable online business around their expertise. But now, there's a solution. Subscribe to the Cash My Skills consultation app waitlist and download the Knowledge Monetization Toolkit packed with practical strategies and real-world examples that will help you monetize your skills, knowledge, and create a sustainable online income. Whether you're a coach, consultant, author, speaker, teacher, or any other type of expert, this ebook will give you the tools and guidance you need to succeed. Don't wait any longer to monetize your knowledge. Join our waitlist now and take the first step towards creating a sustainable online income. Visit www.cashmyskills.com.